It's nearly impossible to get over the bezels on the Xiaomi Mi Mix. It's absolutely stunning. So the display on this is a IPS LCD. It has a 83% screen to body ratio, 6.4 inch display, right? And you can see when you look at it that there's a little curve around the edges. You're going to lose a few pixels doing that, but I think the solution just looks so elegant. Now this is 1080 by 2040, so that's a 17 by 9 screen ratio. And the reason why that's actually quite interesting to take note of is that when you say play a video, right? So this is actually in Xiaomi's native player. I'm going to try to figure out which one I can download that doesn't keep the Android bar here. So I'm going to have to do a bit of searching on that to maybe hide that away, probably in the settings. But you can see that it's just beautiful. And so this is actually a 4K video that is playing within Xiaomi's own player, which is really quite nice because sometimes I download this video onto phones and I can't play it at all. So, continuing the walk around the system, let's just take a look at the system. So we have Xiaomi's MIUI 8 on board here. It doesn't have an app drawer. What's interesting is there's a small button down here. See that right in the corner? And so the reason why they have that is so that you can use this one-handed. So there you go, you can screen capture, you know. It's just kind of like, there's a similar feature on iOS as well. But you can see that we've got a lot of stuff going on here. Android 6.0, like I mentioned, a Snapdragon 821 processor with 6 gigabytes of RAM, which is really nice, 256 on storage, no micro SD card for expansion, and you can see just when I turn this over that this is a mirrored finish and it is a fingerprint magnet. Now without the fingerprint magnets, it absolutely looks super gorgeous, but having said that, you're going to be wanting to basically put this case on pretty much full time when you've got it, just because with such small bezels, if you drop this, you're going to have very little protection. So it's a good thing that they have provided this like really kind of nice case, but if you don't like this case, you might be out of luck because there aren't that many third-party products for this handset right now. Now let's just walk around the system. So like I said, this is a ceramic finish. This may be the most slippery phone that I have ever held in my life, which is saying a lot. Down on the bottom there, you can see that we have the 5 megapixel front-facing camera. So it's down here and not up top because we have the great, bezel-less design up there. One of the things that you should be asking as well is how well is the software detection for accidental touches, and so far so good in my very brief time with it. So walking around the system here on the bottom, you can see we have dual speakers, USB Type-C with Quick Charge 3.0, which is really nice, 4,400 milliampere battery, which is fantastic. We have the power button there and the volume rocker. Again, this is all made with that ceramic, so even the sides and edges are very slippery. All right, around here on the top, we have a headphone jack, which is nice to see. And then over here we have a SIM card slot there, so no micro SD card slot for expansion, unfortunately, but we do have 256 gigabytes UFS 2.0, which is really nice. So like I said on the back there, a total disaster if you just want to manhandle it. This is not a phone that you're going to be using naked, which to me is fine because, well, like when we just want to look at the display pretty much all the time. So that's a 16 megapixel camera there. On the front we have a 5 megapixel shooter. Now this camera does not have OIS, it has EIS and face detection autofocus. I do wish that it did have OIS, that would have been my dream. As for thickness, this is 7.9 millimeters and 209 grams, which, technically is a little bit heavy, but the size of the handset is just really, really well distributed. So now the Xiaomi Mi Mix is a relatively big phone. Like, they've included this little toggle here just because it is so big. You can pull down from anywhere to grab the notification bar. But let's just, for scale, this is 6.4 inches, right? So let's just put that down. And then to remind you, this is the Nexus 6P, which is very similar looking in size, but this has a 5.7 inch display, so much smaller. And then this is the iPhone 7 Plus, right? So these phones really, at 5.5 inches, is nearly as big as the Mi Mix. If you are an unknown, kind of not well-known, smartphone maker, Xiaomi has kind of been falling out of the limelight a little bit recently because they haven't been coming out with many innovative phones. And they've put this on the market. And we kind of remember the Sharp smartphone that came out a little while ago, but it had a massive chin. I mean, I just really have to give it to Xiaomi. When we compare what they've done with the Mi Mix to other smartphones that are on the market, especially the iPhone 7 Plus, like it almost seems like a joke that Apple thinks that it's acceptable to launch something with bezels this big. So this has just been an unboxing and a hands-on and just a really, really quick look at the Xiaomi Mi Mix. I'm going to be doing a full review, getting right in there, testing the camera, battery life. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment so that I can include them in the full review. Nicole Scott here for Mobile Geeks.